Today, we're going to dive into something that's, well, it's incredibly difficult and painful. We're opening up the Narcissist's playbook on punishment. And let's be clear, this has nothing to do with fair consequences. This is about a system built from the ground up for one thing: control.
If that question just hit you right in the gut, then you know exactly what this feels like. It's that constant, exhausting feeling of walking on eggshells, trying to figure out what landmine you just stepped on, but the thing is, you can't find the mistake because you didn't make one. And that confusion you feel, that's not a bug in the system, it's the main feature.
And this is the reason why it feels so completely impossible. Let this quote sink in for a second. In the narcissist's world, the problem isn't something you did, the problem is you. Just you, existing. Your needs, your feelings, your very presence, that's the original crime. And how can you possibly fix a problem when the problem is that you simply exist? You can't. You're guilty before you even take a breath. So, that brings us to the first, and honestly, the most mind-bending rule in their playbook: punishment without a crime. See, in any normal, healthy relationship, there's a clear link between cause and effect. You do something, there's a consequence. But here, that entire logic is flipped completely upside down. The punishment isn't a reaction. The punishment is the whole point. Think about it like this. The punishment is already sitting on the table, loaded and ready to go. The sentence has been decided long before court is even in session. All the narcissist is doing is waiting, just waiting for any tiny, flimsy excuse to pull the trigger. It's not a reaction to your behavior. It's a pre-planned event just waiting to happen to you. This comparison really lays it all out, clear as day. On one side, you have a healthy dynamic. The rules make sense and the goal is to fix things, right? But then look at the other side, narcissistic punishment. Here, the goal is just to create chaos and keep you under their thumb. The rules are a secret, they're always changing, and the punishment is always way out of proportion. It's a system designed to keep you spinning. And this is where it gets truly insane. To a narcissist, a suspicion they have in their head is the same as a fact. They will literally punish you today for something they're afraid you might do tomorrow. You're basically being tried and convicted for thought crimes, and they're not even your thoughts. So how exactly do they deliver this constant stream of punishment? Well, that brings us to rule number 2. They have an entire arsenal of abuse. And I mean an arsenal. It's not just one tactic. It's a whole collection of weapons, from loud and obvious to quiet and sneaky, all of them picked for one reason: to hurt. First, you've got the overt weapons. These are the ones that are impossible to miss. They're the loud, aggressive, in-your-face attacks. We're talking about insults, vicious smear campaigns, threats to leave you. They'll use anything they can get their hands on: money, their reputation, sometimes even physical violence. It's raw, brutal power. But, a lot of the time, the hostility is way harder to nail down. It comes in the form of passive aggression. This is their hidden punishment. It's how they get to hurt you while keeping their hands clean, always able to say, "What? I didn't do anything." It's hostility wearing a clever disguise. And this is the stuff that can truly make you feel like you're losing your mind. These are the covert weapons, the silent treatment that makes you feel invisible, the sarcastic jokes that are really just insults with a laugh track. Suddenly forgetting that important promise they made, quietly sabotaging your chances at work. It's a slow, draining attack designed to make you question your own sanity. And you absolutely have to understand this. The goal is your pain. That's it. So if one of their tactics stops working, like say you become immune to their silent treatment, they don't just stop. Oh no. They just put that tool down and pick up a new one from their arsenal. They will cycle through weapons until they find the one that still gets to you. Now, all of this leads us to rule number 3, which unfolds in a place we're going to call the narcissist's courtroom. And in this courtroom, you are always the one on trial. It's a trial that never ends for a crime you didn't commit in a system where justice was never even on the menu. First things first, in this courtroom, the narcissist isn't just another person in the room. No, they are the court. They are the entire building, the foundation, the very system of law where your fate is decided. And from that seat of power, they're also the judge. They're the ones sitting up high, looking down on you. But there's no fair hearing. The verdict of guilty was decided before you even walked in the door. So once that guilty verdict inevitably comes down, they switch hats. Now they're the jailer, They're the one who locks the cell door, trapping you in a prison made of their judgment, making sure you can't escape. And finally, they become the executioner. They are the one who carries out the sentence, whatever it may be, without mercy or hesitation. Judge, jury, jailer, and executioner, all wrapped up in one person. You never, ever stood a chance.
This quote just nails the feeling perfectly. You're treated like a political prisoner. You're guilty by association or by suspicion, and the entire burden is on you to prove you're innocent, which, of course, is impossible. The goal is to just grind you down until you break and confess to things you never even did, just to make the torture stop for a minute.
So, what is the point of all this? What's the end game? After all the crazy rules and the kangaroo court, what are they actually trying to achieve? It isn't about fairness. It's not about making you a better person. It is about one thing and one thing only: absolute, total control. Now, in their own warped reality, they don't even see what they're doing as abuse. No, they've convinced themselves it's a necessary corrective step. They genuinely believe they have the right to train you, to mold you into whatever they need you to be, so you'll meet their needs and never, ever question them. And they keep control of the story with this simple but absolutely devastating 3-step trick. Step 1, they attack you. Step 2, they expertly flip the script so that your reaction to being attacked is painted as the real problem. And then, in Step 3, they emerge from the chaos they created, playing the poor, innocent victim. It's genius in a terrifying way. When it all boils down to it, this is the one cold, hard fact you have to hold on to. You're not their partner or their equal. You are a pawn on their chessboard. Every single punishment, every word, every move they make is calculated for their own benefit, always. Which leaves us with the final and most powerful question. This entire broken system, this whole sick game, it only works as long as you keep playing, as long as you keep searching for the mistake you made and accepting the blame. So the real power move, the only way to win, is to ask yourself, what happens when you just drop the game pieces, stand up, and walk away from the board?